Hi, this is Bobby Klein. I'm the translator and the interpreter of the I Ching. This is a New Earth I Ching, easy to understand, easy to put to use. It's an oracle, 3,000 years of wisdom wrapped up in this. So sit back, take a breath. If you've got a question in your mind, ask it. If not, just hang in and you'll get some answers. And that's what this is all about. The I Ching, they say, is the book of change, and it is, but it's also the book of answers. All right. Tune in. Drop in. You're home. Yeah. You're home. Breaking through the clouds. Slivers of orange and yellow. The fuel fire of truth. Imagine a week of truth. A week with no lies, no subterfuge, just breakthroughs. Fuel fire. You want to feed yourself with the truth. Stop yourself before you lie to yourself. Stop yourself before you lie to those around you. Lying in words, in action, and what you do and what you say. Go for the breakthrough, and that's what today is about. And that's what the message is today about. It's about breakthrough. Because what happens when we have breakthrough? Well, we begin to resolve things. Resolution, revolution, resolution. Today, the coins bring us to number 6, song. Dispute, conflict. The wisdom says about this quad this week, there are arguments brewing within. Do not be afraid or intimidated. Stand steady in the center. There will be no completion. Oh, yeah. Make it all right. You can't complete things. So what do? Well, you stay in the truth. You stand steady. And these are the times that you go easy on yourself. You don't beat yourself up, you see. Because right now, don't feel guilty because you're not completing things. These are not the times meant for completion. During times of conflict, whether it's being reflected in your relationships, in commerce, with your family, with your tribe, right now you can't see clearly, and it happens like that. So what do? We accept it. We don't know what's got to be done to bring about the correct actions to get back to peace of mind. You see, the only place of clarity right now is in the center, and you'll be there. And having clarity does not mean completion, you see, because it's neutrality. While others plead their case to authority, or maybe they've begun to bully you or try to intimidate you, want to show that they're right, you're going to benefit from holding your tongue, hold your truth, by neither taking the stance of the righteous nor bending to the threats of coercion. Don't bend. You know, it's not weakness to take the center point where clarity resides. That's wisdom. While in this position, do not demonstrate in any way fear of authority. No reason to be afraid. Have confidence that in this correct position where you are to express your clear vision with no fear of a negative outcome, because there's not going to be an outcome. Got it? Not going to be negative, not going to be positive, just no outcome. And don't give up your position to try to make it happen. And don't embellish the truth to gain power. That's what's dangerous, right? In review, you're going to see when you're looking clearly at what's going on right now that you're entering into a new arrangement in your life. Maybe it's already existing, some agreement you were not clear about, or perhaps you were in denial when you made the pact, when you made the deal. You weren't really looking at what the truth are. And when we get into expectations of desire, of money, of love, and all that, we get blindsided, right? Go back to the onset of the situation, beginning of a relationship, beginning of dealing with what you're doing. Go back, review it, and root out what you missed or where you denied the truth. And you don't have to tell anybody else, just do it. Sometimes it's just embarrassing. Do not let this internal revelation further activate more and more conflict by trying to correct the situation. It is not correctable. It's not going to happen, not in this form. Down the line, as things evolve, yes, of course, we can come into times of correction. But if you try right now to correct things to make it work, it's just going to bring about more conflict and more arguments. And look, understand this 100%. During arguments, you're blind to the truth. That's right. You can even look at it, in a relationship, in business, with your health, with things. If you get into that place of conflict and you jump into the argument, you cannot see. You can't see, like they say, the forest for the trees. This reading today is telling you to advise you, withdraw from your situation just long enough so you can clearly see what's happening or what has happened. You may decide to withdraw completely, seeing that the agreement, whether actual or inferred, was built on false premises and false promises. Whether you stay in or you leave it behind, these are choices. The clarity you will gain will bring peace of mind and make way for good fortune. And that's what we're going. We want good fortune. We want love, right? So if you choose to proceed with what you're in that you don't see that should be rejected, if you choose to proceed, the benefit is to recognize that the conflict you're feeling, it's felt by everyone involved. It's felt just even the spirit of the agreement, the spirit of the deal, quote unquote. It's being felt. It's not whole, you see. Come to a firm stance with an open heart and meet whatever opposition is there halfway. Negotiate, you bet. Negotiate up to the point where you feel there's fairness and you have clarity of purpose. This leads to good fortune. This leads to abundance. This leads to peace of mind. Now, maybe there's no fair resolution possible. Then, swiftly, do not delay, just move on. There's no blame, right? If it can't be done, then just move on. You're not abandoning yourself, not abandoning anything. Just move on. Float on the sound of love. Conflict. It's all around right now, conflict about, what do we do? And kind of watch what's breaking people apart, families apart. Do we do this? Do we travel? Do we get the jab? Do we don't get it? Do we push other people out of our life because of whatever it is that's going on right now? Conflict is amplified because there's such a great discord and so much conflict in our world. It's certainly individual, but it's also between nations. It's also in our natural world. Dig this. People are at odds Political posturing based on greed for power, place, or money is running rampant, and the cognoscente has lost sight of the damage that is being done every moment to our planet. You're picking up on this negativity and fear. It can't be helped. Now, consciously, in realizing where this energy is coming from, separate yourself from the influence of the negativity that's around you, as you see it reflected back at you in the relationship, in when you're thinking about it, if that's what you're feeling, in these decisions, move yourself away because it's not time to make decisions. Greed causes arguments. Greed causes people to try to control nature. Now, it's hard to wrap your head around how people would think it's possible to control nature. This is a conflict that nature will win. It does every time. Look to the tides, look to the weather, look to the global warming, look at what's happening. It's winning. Nature is winning because we are fucking up, right? So anywhere that man has challenged or tried to tame nature and bend nature to their will, it's a ridiculous battle. It cannot be won by will, not by trickery, not by force. It is the ego of society, mankind, politicians. That's what has to be tamed, not nature. You cannot tame nature. Here it is the individual egos that must be dealt with to allow the flow of nature and compassion and love to be the tide that carries our earth towards goals of harmony and completion. Float on it. Often when there's a new or exciting process or a project or relationship that stands right before you, you get a hint of it, you get the smell of it. You can become lost in the potential of the outcome that you project. This will lead to arguments. This will lead to conflict. In an enlightened business model, a firm and fair contract must be put in place before one invests one's time, energy, money. The same is true when it comes to family, when it comes to friends or other groups who we often affiliate. Look, we want to achieve success. So what do? We face our fears. We look to what's causing discord and deal with these issues head on, one by one. If you got to, make a list, head it, and check them off. To do this, have a clear picture of all sides of the situation, right? Walk in the other's moccasins for a little while. See how they're seeing it. Just begin by disengaging from the emotional state of your inner doubts. What conflict has activated? And this will allow you to see all sides of the situation. From this standpoint, you will see what must be done. You'll be acting from your inner sense of fairness, your inner sense of truth, not out of greed, not out of fear, and not trying to appease or look good to others. There's that trap, If it's in relationships, cultivate compassion. Listen fully to your partner in business, in relationships, and communicate with focus and truth, compassion for your associates, for your partners. Don't be afraid to speak from your heart. You will be heard as you speak considered truth. Angst will cause anxiety or depression. You've been going through that, and look to where you're rigid and demanding of yourself or others. Give yourself a break now. Adapt a point of view that takes the pressure off. Meet yourself halfway. Dig it? Take an inventory of your goodness, of your skills, and of your intent. In knowing that you are enough, you'll make the right decisions. Let's try that together, okay? Let's say it. I am enough. Together, come on. I am enough, right? Because you are. Now, enough might be to withdraw completely, or it may be to begin anew with a more flexible point of view, negotiating a place of fairness and harmony. The I Ching is giving us a teaching. It might be for the situation at hand, or it may be a lesson on how to proceed in the correct way in a new situation that you see is appearing on the horizon. At the beginning of any enterprise, as business or art, love, or any form of group endeavor, listen carefully to what the other says. Just listen. Don't interrupt. Just let people talk. Do not dismiss the subtle doubts that you're feeling, the nagging sense of unease you might feel as you're listening in early communications. At the beginning of getting to know someone romantically, listen for clues as to how they have behaved in the past. If it's a new relationship and you say, well, what about that man that you were with, a woman you were with before, and man, if they go off and say, they're terrible, man, just move on, Because even if we break up, whatever it is, we break up with love, and it doesn't mean we're going to get back together, but we break up with love, right? Because often they may say that they're not good at relationships. If you hear that, then you know that they're not ready for a relationship. Listen to it and just stop, go no further. If it's in business or group endeavors, investigate how others in the same field perceive your colleagues. Listen to what they're saying about past deals, what they say about past partners and involvements. If you sense that they're stuck in this negative tip or into dishonesty, just don't go any farther, right? Just bow out gracefully, say thank you very much, a little bow, and out the door. Yeah. And do it all with compassion. There's no reason to cause more conflict, you see. I work with a lot of artists, creative souls, and they choose their company or their representation. Well, do it carefully, because it's always the hard question that you always know this is the truth. It is you that they need and not the other way around, right? The people who represent you, you want to make sure that you're on the same movement because they need you, right? That's the other part of the equation. If in any situation you don't know which way to go, it's a sign to disengage and go to center. From that point, you'll have a clear picture of the situation, the full picture. And once you have this perspective of wholeness, then resolution can come and you can move forward with confidence and with grace. This is how you come to a peaceful, this is how you come to a prosperous outcome, right? We listen to the haiku again. Breaking through the clouds, slivers of orange and yellow, the fuel fire of truth. There's a time for love right now, To find that love within yourself, the love for your friends, the love for the animals in your life, the love and the gratitude of being alive during these times. These are wild times and they can be wicked. But stay in your truth, right? And remember, this is talking about right now. You're not going to solve anything, right? So just stay to center. And then things will have clarity. Then you'll be able to move on. I leave you with the words from down in this part of the world. In Lakesh Alakin, I am the other you. And I like it that way. Yes, I do. Namaste, y'all. To my sisters out there, you goddesses, I send you all the love I could possibly muster from down here at the 20th parallel. And to you men out there who are, chopping the wood, carrying the water, do it. Do it. Come to the center, come to clarity. And as I like to do, I say again, in Lakesh Alakin, I am the other you. Yeah. And I like it that way. Yeah, I do. Namaste, y'all. Namaste. Love the one you're with. Aho! A big aho. Let's finish this one together. Aho! Yeah, baby. Yeah. Travel the road less traveled. Kick the gravel out of your boots. Move on. I love you.